What if I told you that the reason you're lying awake at night, tossing and turning, may not be your age, or even your health? The real thief of your sleep might be hiding right there in your bedroom, and most seniors don't even realize it. Studies show that clutter doesn't just make a room messy. It raises stress, fuels anxiety, and keeps your brain from fully shutting down. In other words, that pile of clothes on the chair, that stack of magazines on your nightstand, or those boxes in the corner could be silently stealing your rest. And here's the shocking part. Clear the right space in the right way, and experts say you could start sleeping better as soon as tonight. But if you skip even one step of what I'm about to share, you may miss the very change your body and mind are craving. So stay with me, because in this video, I'll reveal the surprising connection between clutter and poor sleep, and the one declutter step you can take tonight that might finally give you the deep rest you've been longing for. For so many seniors, restless nights feel like an unavoidable part of aging. You lie in bed, staring at the ceiling, your body tired but your mind wide awake. Maybe you've blamed it on aches and pains, maybe on stress, or maybe you've told yourself, this is just what happens when you get older. But here's the truth most of us never hear. Your environment, the space you sleep in, could be playing a bigger role than you think. Research has shown that clutter doesn't just overwhelm your home, it overwhelms your brain. Every pile of books, every stack of papers, every object out of place sends tiny signals of unfinished business. Those signals keep your mind active, even when your body is desperate to rest. And that's why experts are now saying that the bedroom itself, not your age, could be the key to better sleep. A clear, calming environment tells your brain it's safe to let go. A cluttered one whispers that there's still work to do. I want to show you what this really looks like, not just in studies but in real life. Let me tell you about Helen, a 70-year-old retired teacher who spent years lying awake at night, never realizing that the very room she trusted for rest was quietly keeping her awake. Helen was 70 years old, a retired teacher who had spent her life guiding young minds with patience and care. She lived in the same home for over 40 years, a place filled with keepsakes, books, and memories from every stage of her life. To anyone else, her home looked warm and lived in. But to Helen, especially at night, it felt heavy. Every evening, she followed the same routine, washed her face, read a few pages of a book, and turned off the light. But instead of drifting off to sleep, she would stare into the darkness, her mind racing. On the chair in the corner sat clothes she never put away. On the nightstand were half-read books, an old clock, and stacks of unopened mail. Even in the dim glow of her lamp, Helen could see it all. And instead of soothing her, it seemed to whisper reminders of things she hadn't finished. She told herself it was normal. "I'm just getting older," she would say. Of course, sleep doesn't come as easily. But deep down, she knew something else was wrong, something she couldn't quite name. And as the nights wore on, the weight of the clutter around her pressed heavier and heavier on her mind, leaving her exhausted by morning. Helen's story is more common than we think, and it holds a lesson that could change the way you look at your own home tonight. Helen didn't realize it, but every single object in her bedroom was quietly fighting for her brain's attention. Neuroscientists say that clutter doesn't just sit there. It stimulates the brain, creating a constant background noise that keeps your mind alert when it should be winding down. Think of it this way: your brain is like a filing cabinet. When your surroundings are calm, your brain can close the drawers and rest. But when your environment is cluttered, the drawers are left wide open, spilling with files, demanding to be sorted. Even with your eyes closed, your mind is still processing it all. Researchers at Princeton University discovered that when our visual space is cluttered, the brain struggles to filter information, leading to stress and difficulty focusing. For seniors, this stress often shows up as sleepless nights. Instead of releasing calming signals to the body, the brain keeps sounding the alarm as if saying, "You're not done yet, stay awake." Helen described it perfectly one evening. As she lay in bed, she found her thoughts drifting not to dreams, but to the messy pile of clothes in the corner and the stack of letters she still hadn't read. She felt her chest tighten, her mind restless. That clutter wasn't just filling her room. It was filling her mind, stealing the peace she desperately needed to drift off. And here's what makes it worse. Clutter raises cortisol, the body's main stress hormone. Elevated cortisol at night keeps your heart rate up and makes it harder for your body to enter deep, healing sleep. So instead of resting, you toss, you turn, and you wake up the next morning still exhausted. Helen thought her insomnia was just part of aging. But the truth is, her sleepless nights weren't simply a symptom of her years. They were a symptom of her environment. When sleep experts talk about clutter, they almost always start with the bedroom because this is the one place where your mind and body should feel completely at ease. Yet for many seniors, it's the most cluttered space of all. Helen's bedroom told the story perfectly. On her nightstand were 3 half-finished books, a stack of unopened mail, and a pair of old glasses she no longer used. The chair in the corner had become a catch-all for clothes she meant to hang but never did. Her dresser was covered with trinkets, pill bottles, and small keepsakes she hadn't sorted through in years. And while none of these things seemed dangerous, they carried a hidden weight. Psychologists call this visual noise. Each object is like a whisper saying, "You still have things to do. You're not finished." And when your brain is bombarded with those whispers at bedtime, it doesn't fully let go. One study from UCLA's Center on Everyday Lives of Families found that women in cluttered homes had significantly higher levels of cortisol, especially in the evenings. That means instead of winding down for rest, their bodies were in stress mode. Hearts racing, minds unsettled. Helen admitted that sometimes as she lay in bed, her eyes would wander to the piles and she'd feel a rush of guilt. "I'll deal with it tomorrow," she told herself. But tomorrow never came. And so the mess stayed night after night, and so did the restlessness. The truth is, our bedrooms should be sanctuaries. But when clutter takes over, they become reminders of what's unfinished. And for seniors like Helen, and maybe even for you, that quiet mess may be the very reason sleep feels so far away. One evening, after yet another restless night, Helen sat on the edge of her bed and looked around her room. The nightstand stacked with books, the chair covered with clothes, the piles of unopened mail. It suddenly felt louder than ever. She realized she wasn't just battling her age or her body. She was battling the mess around her. With a deep breath, she decided to start small. She cleared her nightstand, leaving only her lamp, her reading glasses, and one book she was actually enjoying. The stack of mail went into a basket by the door. The clothes from the chair were folded and put away. It wasn't perfect, but it was lighter. That night something remarkable happened. For the first time in months, Helen fell asleep within minutes. And when she woke up, she felt rested, truly rested. She couldn't believe that such a small change had such a powerful effect. Over the next few weeks, she kept going. A drawer here, a corner there, always starting with the spaces she saw before bed. Each night, the whispers of unfinished tasks grew quieter. Her bedroom began to feel like a sanctuary again, a place of calm instead of chaos. Helen's turning point was simple but profound. She discovered that decluttering wasn't about making her room look perfect. It was about giving her mind permission to rest. And her story carries a lesson for all of us. Better sleep isn't always found in a pill bottle, or a new mattress, or even a strict routine. Sometimes it begins with something as simple as clearing the clutter from the space where you lay your head. Now I want to pause and speak directly to you. If you've been struggling with restless nights, I don't want you to feel like change is out of reach. The truth is, you don't have to clear your whole house or spend weeks organizing before you see results. Sometimes the smallest changes can bring the biggest relief. Here are a few gentle but powerful steps you can take tonight. Step 1. Clear your nightstand. Remove the stacks of books, old receipts, or pill bottles scattered on top. Leave only what calms you, a lamp, your glasses, or one book you're currently reading. When your eyes see less clutter, your mind feels lighter. Step 2. Remove laundry piles. Clothes draped on chairs or stacked in corners create silent stress. Fold them, hang them, or place them in a hamper. A clear chair in the corner is much easier on the mind than a pile whispering unfinished chores. Step 3. Choose one calming object. Instead of clutter, let your eyes fall on something that soothes you. a framed photo of a loved one, a vase of fresh flowers, or even a single candle. Your brain will associate that image with peace, not chaos. Step 4. Keep electronics out of sight. Phones, chargers, and tablets don't just clutter the space. They stimulate the brain. Move them out of the bedroom or at least off your nightstand before bed. Step 5. Make your bed a sanctuary. Smooth the sheets, fluff the pillows, and create a sense of comfort. Research shows that even the act of making your bed can signal to your mind that the day's stress is over, and rest can begin. The beauty of these steps is that they don't take hours. You could do them in 10 or 15 minutes tonight. And just like Helen, you might discover that clearing even one surface or corner opens the door to deeper, more peaceful sleep. Remember, this isn't about perfection. It's about creating a bedroom that supports you, not one that weighs you down. When Helen began sleeping better, she noticed something unexpected. Her days started to feel lighter too. She woke up with more energy, her memory felt sharper, and even her mood lifted. What began with clearing her nightstand had quietly spilled into every corner of her life. And the science explains why. Quality sleep is one of the strongest foundations of good health, especially as we age. Studies show that seniors who sleep well have better focus, stronger immune systems, steadier moods, and even lower risks of falls and heart problems. Sleep is when the brain clears away toxins, repairs itself, and restores memory. But when clutter steals sleep, it steals those benefits too. Psychologists call it the ripple effect. One small change in your environment can create waves of change in your body and mind. For seniors, this can mean waking up less foggy, remembering medications more easily, feeling less anxious, and having more patience for daily tasks. Helen told me she hadn't realized how much her cluttered bedroom was draining her, not just at night, but all day long. Once her rest improved, she found herself laughing more with her grandchildren, enjoying her morning walks again, and even rediscovering hobbies she thought she no longer had the energy for. That's the hidden gift of decluttering. It doesn't just give you a calmer space. It gives you back parts of yourself you thought were gone. So, what's the real secret to better sleep for seniors? It's not always a new mattress, a stricter bedtime, or another prescription. Sometimes it begins with something far simpler, clearing the clutter that surrounds you at night. Helen's story reminds us that sleep isn't just about what your body does. It's about what your environment allows your mind to do. A messy bedroom whispers stress, while a calm, clutter-free space whispers rest. And here's the beautiful truth. You don't have to tackle everything at once. Just one small step, clearing your nightstand, folding that pile of clothes, or creating a peaceful spot to rest your eyes, can set the stage for deeper, more refreshing sleep tonight. I want you to ask yourself, when you walk into your bedroom tonight, what's the first thing your eyes see? Is it peace? Or is it stress? Whatever the answer, you have the power to change it. So here's my invitation. Before you go to bed tonight, choose one space, just one, and clear it. Give yourself the gift of walking into a bedroom that welcomes you to rest. Then notice how it feels when you wake up tomorrow. And if this message touched you, I encourage you to share it with a friend who might also be struggling with sleep. Sometimes, the greatest gift we can give each other is a reminder that change is still possible, no matter our age. Finally, if you'd like more gentle science-backed guidance on decluttering, aging, and living with peace of mind, make sure you subscribe. Together we can create homes and lives that feel lighter, calmer, and more restful. Because remember, your rest matters, your peace matters, and you deserve a space that supports both.